The movie begins with Ed Warren and Lorraine Warren. They stand in front of an audience. A conference hall. They begin to share their experiences. Supernatural, paranormal, encounters with forces that should not exist. Forces that haunt, forces that kill. Carolyn Perron, Roger Perron, a family searching for peace. But they are about to step into a nightmare. They arrive at their new house. An old farmhouse. Creaking wood. Silent walls. A place that hides something. Something waiting. Their 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, run inside with excitement. But not everyone is eager. The family dog, terrified, it refuses to enter. It knows. It senses. Innocent April wanders outside. Beneath an ancient tree, she discovers a music box. A strange box with an adjusted mirror. A mirror that doesn't just reflect, but watches. The children play a game. Hide and clap. Laughter echoes through the hallways. Until, crack, a pine wood panel shatters. Behind it, a hidden door. A door that was never meant to be opened. Roger pushes inside. A storeroom. Dark. Silent. Waiting. Inside, an old piano. Dust. Antique things. Objects that should never see the light again. And then, the dog begins barking. Louder. Louder. Something is here. The next morning, Carolyn wakes. Her foot, marked with strange wounds. Something attacked her in the night. The clocks? All frozen. Every single one. At 3:07 a.m. The same time. The exact same time. April steps outside. Her heart stops. The dog. Dead. Lying lifeless. Cut. The Warrens' Ghost Museum. Reporters gather around Ed Warren. Every object in this room, he warns, has been touched by darkness. Cursed. Haunted. Used in rituals of witchcraft. And once a month, the ghosts come back. They come here to worship. And then, Ed speaks of her. Annabelle. The doll. Innocent face. But inside it, a doorway. A devilish power using it as a vessel. Cut. Back to the farmhouse. The clock strikes again. 3:07 nachts. And then, it begins. Christine, sleeping. Suddenly, her foot is yanked. Dragged. A foul, rotting stench fills the room. She wakes in terror. Cindy, sleepwalking again. She moves silently into Andrea's room. Her head slams against the wardrobe, as if pulled by something unseen. The next day, more wounds on Carolyn's body. Spreading. Darkening. Roger goes outside. A pigeon. Dead. Fallen from the sky. The land is poisoned. Later, Carolyn and April. Alone, April whispers to something invisible. She giggles. She plays. And then, she asks her mother to play hide and clap. Carolyn moves to Andrea's room. The wardrobe door creaks open by itself. Hands shoot out. A sudden clap. The sound of something that should not exist. Christine's night grows worse. Her foot, yanked again. Harder. Violent. She screams. She sees it, a shadow. A figure, standing behind the door. It whispers, "I'll kill you. I'll kill your whole family." Nancy is with her. She sees nothing but the stench. The foul smell of decay is real. Christine tells Roger. The family is in fear. Carolyn's body, covered with bruises. She hears it. Children's laughter. Playing. But when she checks, all her daughters are asleep. Then, the frames. Every photograph on the wall falls. Shatters. The house comes alive. And then, a voice. A girl's voice. Calling. She follows it. Down. To the basement. The door opens on its own. Creaking. Waiting. She steps inside. Cold. Empty. Until the door slams shut. Darkness. Carolyn screams. She stumbles, falling down the stairs. Her breath quickens. And then, from the shadows, a ball rolls toward her. Not thrown. Not dropped. But sent. By someone. Or something. Carolyn runs. She tries to escape. But the darkness is alive. It swallows everything. Her hands shake. A match flares. The flame cracks, open to shadows. But what she sees chills her soul. Behind her, a clap. A girl. A clapping girl. Standing in the dark. There's no way out. Meanwhile, inside Andrea's room, Cindy is slamming her head against the cupboard. Again and again, Andrea rushes to her. She holds Cindy. She lays her on the bed, try to comfort her. Then, the wardrobe. The door creaks open by itself. Andrea steps closer. Her hands trembling, she pulls it wide open. And there at the top, a woman. A ghost. Her face twisted. She lunges. Andrea screams. Roger bursts in. He hears crying. Not just one voice, but echoes surrounding him. He rushes to the basement. He forces the door open. Carolyn stumbles out, her face pale with terror. Together, they climb the stairs, their children huddled in fear. The whole family trapped in their own house. But the story doesn't end there. It only gets darker. The scene shifts to university. Ed Warren stands on stage, giving a lecture on the supernatural. And among the listeners is Carolyn. She waits until the end. Then she approaches Ed and Lorraine. Her voice trembles as she invites them to her home. The Warrens agree. Inside the house, Carolyn and Roger reveal everything. The truth they've been hiding. The air stinks. The doors knock 3 times at night. In the morning, they slam shut. Birds that fly into the house are found dead in the garden. And every single clock stops at 3:07. It listens. His face hardens. These signs, he says, are proof. The devil is here. The Warrens descend into the basement. Lorraine pauses. She feels it. Something is wrong. The walls are heavy with death. Ed begins recording Carolyn's words, documenting every event. But Lorraine, she searches deeper. She speaks to April, the little girl. April shows her music box. Lorraine wins it. The tune plays. In the mirror, a reflection. A boy, a spirit. Rory, the child April had spoken about. They trace the box to a tree outside. And there, Lorraine sees it. The ghost. The one tormenting this family. Her heart sinks. This isn't just a ghost. This is something much worse. Lorraine reveals the truth. This house belongs to a demon. A black spirit. A powerful one. She warns them. It has already marked Carolyn. She's seen it. The dark figure. Standing behind Carolyn. Behind Roger. Behind the children. It's with them everywhere. And it will never stop. Even if they leave this house, it will follow. Ed's voice cuts through the dread. There's only one way. Exorcism. But for that, they need the church. And the church needs proof. That night, Ed plays back his recordings. But something's wrong. Only his own voice is heard. The words of Carolyn and Roger, completely gone. Lorraine digs deeper into the history of the house. And what she finds is horrific. Long ago, a man built a farmhouse here. He married a woman, but she was no ordinary woman. Her name was Bathsheba, a witch, a spellcaster. She worshipped darkness. She believed in sacrifice. And one night, she proved it. Bathsheba burned her own 7-day-old child. A ritual for the devil. The same devil that now lives in this house. That hunts Carolyn. That stalks her family. When her husband discovered the truth, he ran. He ran outside in shock. And behind him, Bathsheba ended it all. She tied the rope around her neck and hung herself from a tree. But death didn't stop her. It only unleashed something far, far worse. From that day, death haunted the place. A child named Rory vanished, gone without a trace. His mother couldn't take it. Grief consumed her. She ended her life in the storage room of that cursed house. Neighbors weren't safe either. One committed suicide. Another child drowned in the pool. One by one, tragedy struck like clockwork. During a tense conversation, the recorder switched on by itself. Ed's voice played back, but this time twisted, distorted, mixed with something horrifying. A growl, a ghostly scream. The clock read 3:07 a.m., the devil's hour. The next day, Ed and Lorraine returned to Roger's house. They needed evidence, proof for the church. This wasn't just a haunting anymore, it was war. A police officer joined them, and a young boy, Brad. Together, they set up cameras and voice recorders all around the house. Inside, Lorraine studied a family photo. She closed her eyes. She felt it. The moment of creation. The moment this nightmare began. Ed took holy water. He sprinkled every room. If the demon was there, it would be forced to show itself. Suddenly, slam, the basement door flew open. Ed and Lorraine stepped down into shadows. Nothing. Silence. But when they turned to leave, the door slammed shut behind them. They were trapped. That night, no proof. No evidence. Just silence. By morning, the family smiled at breakfast, trying to forget. But Ed knew. This wasn't over. He told Carolyn to rest. He and Lorraine would handle everything. Later that day, Lorraine was hanging clothes outside. The wind grew cold. Still. And then she saw it. A figure. Bathsheba. Standing behind a sheet. The cloth ripped from the line, flew violently through the air, and clung to Carolyn's bedroom window. When it fell away, Bathsheba's face was there, watching, waiting. Before Lorraine could even reach Carolyn, Bathsheba struck. The possession had begun. Now, the terror grew stronger. The police officer, Brad, heard a girl's voice. He spun around and saw her, the ghost of the maid who had taken her own life. She lunged. Brad stumbled back, horrified. Meanwhile, Nancy began to sleepwalk again, this time into Andrea's room. The door locked behind her. The cameras caught it all. Nancy moving, not alone. Something was with her. Inside the room, Nancy heard a child's whisper. "Hide yourself." The family rushed to the door. They forced it open, but Nancy was gone. Ed searched with a flashlight, desperate. Finally, He found her, wedged in the shadows, between two walls. April whispered to Lorraine, "When Rory gets scared, he hides there." Lorraine rushed over. Inside the cramped space, she found toys, the music box, and the rope Bathsheba had used to hang herself. The wood beneath her feet cracked. She fell, straight into the storage room. There she saw it, the spirit of Rory's mother, crying, trembling. Her voice broke through the dark. "It asked me to do this." And then she vanished. But Lorraine wasn't alone. Bathsheba was there, her presence overwhelming. As Lorraine tried to flee, Bathsheba attacked. She grabbed her necklace, yanked it violently, snapping the chain. It fell, shattered on the floor. Inside that locket was the photo of her daughter, Judy, a gift now broken. And with it, the demon's hold grew stronger. Outside the house, Lorraine runs. Her voice is trembling, her eyes wide with fear. She reveals the horrifying truth. These spirits, these evil spirits, they force mothers to kill their own children. And now, that curse is gripping Carolyn. The wounds on her body, they aren't random. They're marks, left by the ghost itself. Then, silence shatters. Crucifixes drop to the floor, one by one. Cold air swirls. And then, screams. Nancy's hair is yanked. Invisible hands drag her across the room. Left, right again and again. The family rushes, fights back. And finally, Nancy is freed. But the terror doesn't stop. They decide they can't stay here anymore. They must leave. Ed turns to Roger. His voice is firm. He promises they'll take all the evidence to the church. They'll fight for an exorcism. But then, something darker happens. Lorraine hears it, her daughter Judy's voice. And when she looks, she sees Judy's body, floating, lifeless, in the pool. Lorraine collapses in terror. She runs to Ed, her fear unstoppable. She calls it what it is, a warning. The next day, Ed and Lorraine bring their proof to the priest. They recount everything, every haunting moment. They reveal the photo, Nancy sleepwalking, and right beside her, the ghostly figure of Rory. But the priest shakes his head. Exorcism isn't easy. They'll need higher approval, because Ed and Lorraine aren't Catholics. Then night falls, and far away, Judy is shown, alone. Her locket glimmers faintly in the dark, and from that locket, Bathsheba finds her. The ghost creeps closer. Judy's foot is grabbed. She wakes in terror. She stumbles out, calling for her parents. But they're not there. The museum door creaks open. Inside, the Annabelle doll is gone. And there, in the shadows, Bathsheba sits, Annabelle in her lap, her eyes locked on Judy. She attacks. Judy screams. But at the very last moment, Ed and Lorraine burst in. They save their daughter's life. But the evil isn't done yet. Carolyn, she's gone. She takes Christine and April with her. Roger panics. He calls Ed immediately. Carolyn's voice shakes as she admits the spirit is commanding her to kill. Everyone races back to the house. Inside chaos, Carolyn already raising her hands against Christine, but she stopped barely in time. Christine is rushed to the car, but April hides, terrified, in the shadows. They try to drag Carolyn outside, but Lorraine realizes something chilling. If Carolyn crosses that doorway, she will die instantly. Then, the spirit strikes. Carolyn is hurled into the basement, dragged by invisible claws into the dark. They chase after her, but Bathsheba is too strong. Carolyn thrashes, screams, attacks everyone in her way. She's no longer herself, no longer a mother. She's a weapon of the devil. They tie her to a chair. Her body convulses, her eyes blackened. Ed makes the choice. He has no time. He begins the exorcism. The walls rumble. Bathsheba shrieks through Carolyn's body. Her power grows stronger. The chair levitates. It crashes to the ground. The ropes snap. Carolyn is free again. She lunges at Ed, but Thomas finds April, hiding, shaking, and Carolyn turns. Her eyes lock onto her youngest. Her hands stretch forward. She's about to kill her own child. But Ed doesn't stop. He shouts, commanding Bathsheba, swearing by God. He forces the demon to leave. The room shakes. Carolyn screams. Bathsheba resists. But then, Lorraine and Roger intervene. They shout Carolyn's name. They remind her of her children, her family, her love. The memories flood back. Carolyn fights. And with one final cry, Bathsheba is torn away, defeated. The nightmare ends. Carolyn returns, breathing, crying, alive. The family embraces. The horror is over. April returns Lorraine's locket, and Ed quietly places the music box back into his museum. And with that, the story ends. But the fear still lingers, because evil never really dies.
Join next time for another story that makes you think and feel. Until then, stay curious and stay safe.